The Savannah Bananas just played 2 more games in an MLB stadium at the Atlanta Braves Truist Park. 41,000 fans a night, an incredible show, and we're so excited to talk about it with you all.
Both games were electric, and the Georgia boys really showed out.
Yeah, there were a lot of players on the Savannah Bananas and Party Animals that grew up being fans of the Atlanta Braves and always wanting to play at this stadium. So it was really cool to see that. And just starting it off, I wanted to talk about D.R. Meadows comes up to bat, and all of a sudden you see him look at the screen, and it's his mom talking to him. There's a pre-recorded video talking about how proud she was of him, that he'd always wanted to play in the Braves Stadium. He was finally doing it. It was a really emotional moment. And then the same thing happened to Bill Leroy, and the same thing happened to Stilts. And it was really cool to watch them kind of live out their dreams. And Stilts definitely got emotional, had to pull up the jersey a little bit. And it was just really cool to see how impactful it is for them to play in these MLB stadiums.
Yeah, these players have the opportunity to live out their childhood dream where they get to travel around and play in MLB ballparks and NFL stadiums and college football stadiums, things that they didn't think was possible. I mean, these are players that are good enough to be minor league players, but most minor league players don't get to have an experience like this.
Yeah, and it's like it's really cool that these players that are absolutely incredible at baseball, but then because of their other talents, they're able to now entertain people in a way that many people aren't able to see. We'll talk about it a little bit later. We've got a new segment for you with a really cool comment that we saw that kind of ties that together. So we'll bring that up a little bit later in the podcast.
Yeah, and it was an awesome moment for a lot of these players. In the second game, Eric Jones Jr., he got the first out of the game, and the announcers made the comment that he grew up a diehard Braves fan. And so just a really cool moment for him to make this play. It was a trick play too, in the stadium of his favorite team.
Yeah, and so we'll get right into the breaking down of these 2 games this weekend really quickly. So game 1, the Bananas scored a point early with a Coach Rack walk-off. And then Jared Donaldson completely shut down the Party Animals the first few innings. He also was from Georgia, threw 3 scoreless innings, got 4 strikeouts, and one of them he celebrated with Bill Leroy in a hilarious fashion. They grabbed his hand and hoisted him up, and he went on his shoulder for a minute. It was pretty cool to watch. But then a little bit later in an inning, then the Party Animals scored 2 runs in one of the innings, and then the Bananas came up and they were almost out of it, 2 outs, and then Reese Hampton missed a trick play, and the Bananas scored 2 runs,
so close,
tied the inning.
Yeah, so close. I mean, ultimately it didn't really matter if they would have won that inning, but who knows? Who knows if the momentum would have swung? But yeah, that one was a little hard to watch.
Yeah, and then it just ended about the same for the Party Animals. So Danny Hosley was up, and he was pitching, and he got a really nasty strikeout. They got a pop out, and then, of course, because it has to end this way, there's a pop fly with 2 outs to D.R. Meadows in center field. D.R. Meadows from Georgia, and he does a backflip catch to win the game. Absolutely incredible.
His signature catch. You know, I'm not even a Bananas fan, but I have to respect that. I mean, I love what D.R. Meadows does. I love his signature backflip catches. He had 3 this weekend.
It's crazy.
It's amazing. What a great way for it to end. For it to start with seeing his mom up there, talking about his dream and everything, and for it to end that way. Really awesome game.
Yeah.
Sadly, the Party Animals did not win that one, but it all changed in game 2. Game 2 was awesome. Just a quick note here: the pitching was really excellent to start this game. Archer and Helton were pitching. Archer for the Bananas, Helton for the Party Animals. And at one point, a graphic came on that said that combined, these 2 pitchers had a first pitch strike in 17 of the first 20 batters.
That's incredible.
Yeah, really, really cool. They just kept, every single at bat, it felt like the batters were behind the count. They were trying to catch up. The pitchers were really excellent. There was even an 11 pitch at bat at the beginning, which ended with a fan caught foul ball. Like, just some really awesome at bats, really awesome pitches, pitching and batting battles.
Yeah, and that fan caught foul ball, there were actually 4 of them that game, which tied the record.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah, super crazy. Tied the record there. And then, so the Party Animals went into the 9th inning up 4-2, scored 2 runs at the top of the 9th to pretty much put the game away.
Unfortunately.
Ended up winning 6-2. Party Animals and Bananas were able to split the series here this weekend.
And by splitting the series, that now brings the Party Animals finally into double digits on the wins.
Yeah, it took a little longer than we wanted, but we're only 2 games back. Series could be tied at the end of this weekend. We'll see.
We'll see. But a couple other cool things, in addition to the 4 fan-caught foul balls in Game 2, across both games, there was actually 4 double plays, 2 in each game, and I can't remember exactly, but I think most of them were double plays. So cool to watch. We'll put some of the videos up here, but it's just incredible to see what they can pull off with these plays. And a double play in baseball is already exciting, but the fact that you take the extra half second or the extra second to put it between your legs before you throw it back to first, like those kind of things, it just adds so much to the moment.
Yeah, the Party Animals had one that got me so excited to end the inning. Double play. Which is just crazy, to end the inning in that way. One of the most exciting ways to end a banana ball inning.
But one other thing that I wanted to talk about was something that I learned brand new about banana ball this weekend. So Ty Jackson gets a pop fly, routine pop fly, pops it up like normal, catches it. So routine pop fly, he pops it up to himself with his glove and then catches it. But then the announcer said something that was really interesting. They said, hey, just so everybody knows, the runner can start to tag up as soon as the ball hits the glove, which I was not expecting, but as I think about it, it makes perfect sense. So that means that if you are choosing to pop up the ball and catch it to get a trick play, you're also, if there's somebody on base, giving them an extra chance to get to the next base safely.
Yeah, so that's one of those unique banana ball rules and banana ball situations where you've got to think about it more. You got to think about the scenario here. If you've got a runner on third and you want to do a trick play on a pop fly, probably shouldn't do the pop up and catch, because that's gonna easily be a sacrifice fly that results in a run. But maybe you try something like a backflip catch would be hard to do too. But all of these would be hard with a sacrifice fly situation. But yeah, one where you catch it behind your back, backflip catch, because when the ball touches the glove, that's when the runner can tag up and go.
Yeah, and I think it's really interesting as well, just seeing that where you see the 11 rules that banana ball has, but there's so many other little rules here and there just to fill in the gaps. And I really like learning about those as we go along and seeing how they affect the strategy of the game.
Yeah, for sure. I wanted to talk about one of the funniest moments here. I don't know if you've seen the viral tweet. It was a TikTok, I think. I saw it on X. It went viral, where this guy shows his morning routine, and it is the most absurd thing I've ever seen. It looks like a parody video, but I'm pretty sure this guy was dead serious. Or at least he wanted to. I doubt he really does this every morning, but he at least wanted to seem serious about this. But one of the funniest parts of the video is he has this brand of, I think it's sparkling water, Saratoga sparkling water. He has this thing of ice, and he dumps the water into the bowl of ice, and he sticks his face into it to kind of wake him up. And he does that 3 times in the video. So anyway, all this to say, Dan Oberst comes out with his walk-up, and he mimics this routine.
Yeah.
And he pours the water into this bowl, and he sticks his head face into the bowl, and then he goes up and first pitch gets a hit.
I think you should do that every time.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm thinking too. I guess the morning routine works, and everyone was making fun of it for no reason, and it really, I don't know. It wakes you up, and it gets you ready for the day, ready to get a hit. I thought it was hilarious.
That's awesome. It's fun to see how fast they are to jump on the trends. In addition to all the really successful baseball plays and things like that, they just add in funny moments like that, which is really cool to see.
Yeah, I think I saw this video sometime last week, and already that weekend they put it in. Just hilarious.
Yeah, shout out to the content team over at the Savannah Bananas. You're doing a great job.
Seriously.
Next up, we'll get into one of the best segments of the podcast, in my opinion, the Fact of the Week. So mine was really cool. I saw Brady Keiss, pitcher for the Party Animals, and his celebrity doppelganger was Pablo Sanchez. And for those who don't know, Pablo Sanchez is the best player in the backyard baseball franchise.
Yeah.
And I love those games. I played them growing up, and so it was really cool to see that on the game.
Yeah, I want to see the Bananas make an appearance in the backyard baseball games. I retweeted a backyard baseball tweet this week. It was they quote tweeted one baseball team had their, I don't even remember what baseball team it was. This is really bad podcasting right here. But it was like the view of their ballpark, and it was like the best view in baseball is like this picture.
Yeah.
And then Backyard Baseball quote tweeted it, and it was like, this is the real best view in baseball, and it's like one of their backyard baseball things, and yeah, it's just really funny. Great games.
Yeah, with backyard sports coming back, making a revival, I want to see backyard banana ball with some of the backflips. They already do crazy stuff with the power-ups, the diving catches. Like, it's already built for that, so you just add a little bit more and have Pablo Sanchez in the outfield doing a backflip catch.
Yeah, I can't think of a more a better union of two things than backyard baseball and banana ball. Those things would blend so well together if they were to do some sort of collaboration. Yeah,
that'd be awesome.
Okay, so mine, I want to hear this for myself, but Dalton Ponce, when he was pitching, it said that his obscure talent is that he can make accurate goat noises. So, next time he's up to pitch, instead of just showing this, I would like to hear some of those goat noises.
Yeah, hopefully that happens soon. So if you're listening to us, Dalton Ponce, we want to hear it.
Oh, yeah. And then the honorable mention, I'd say, was probably Stilts.
That's so good.
Yeah, his fact was that he can reach the top shelf. We all need a friend that can reach the top shelf. I had a moment today where I realized how short I was. I had to reach something, and I couldn't do it, and I had to get like a little step stool that, it's just embarrassing. And I guess I need a friend like Stilts around.
Yeah, you got to call him up and just say, hey, it's too much to get the step stool. Could you come over here and reach this for me?
Yeah, I definitely can just call Stilts up. You know how cool we are.
Maybe someday we'll get him as an interview on the podcast, but we'll see.
Yeah, I hope so. So then we want to get into... so we want to try a new segment here.
Yeah.
The fan comment of the week. So we were watching the games on YouTube, and we saw some great comments. And something that I love about watching the games on YouTube, when you just watch a baseball game on TV, you don't see the comments of what people are thinking about the game or whatever. I mean, you can see on social media what they're saying about the games, but it's pretty cool to see the comments on the live streams of people being introduced to the game for the first time, or stuff like that. And so we wanted to highlight some of those top comments.
So the comment that we saw was, "For years I thought I didn't like sports. Turns out I was waiting for my favorite sport to be invented." And I definitely feel that a little bit, where I always loved playing sports, but I've had a hard time watching sports. And now that I found banana ball, I really enjoy watching sports again.
Yeah, I love this comment because I think a lot of people can relate to this. I think there's a lot of banana ball fans that feel this way, that they just never really connected with a sport until banana ball showed up.
Yeah.
And it just goes to show that they were really they found an unmet
100%.
Unmet demand here, and that a lot of people are really enjoying it. All right, the next one that I really liked, I totally agree with this. I've thought similar things too, and they just put this into words. Every time I see Andy Archer pitch, it always seems like he's genuinely happy to be out there on the mound pitching for the Savannah Bananas. I love watching Andy pitch.
Seriously, yeah. Andy Archer, just always a joyful guy on the mound, really fun to watch, and seeing some behind-the-scenes stuff where he's talking, like, it just seems like that's how he is off the field as well.
Yeah, he just always has this big grin on his face no matter what. He just loves the game, and, it makes us love the game too.
Yeah. So thank you for those fan comments. Those were on the official Savannah Bananas live stream of their games, and we just wanted to shout out some of those and shout out some of the best comments that we're seeing in the banana ball community.
Yeah.
And then the next one we wanted to go into was the Bananalytics for the week. So the first one's pretty fun that I saw in the announcers say. Coach Rack was up to bat against Garrett Delano from the Party Animals, and the announcers said that this year he was 1 for 11 off of Garrett Delano. So Garrett Delano is absolutely shutting him down all season long, and literally as the announcer is finishing that sentence, Coach Rack got a hit. So he got his second out of 12.
It's the classic announcer jinx.
Yes.
It's like someone's at the free throw line. He's a 90% free throw shooter. Oh, he missed. Yeah, it's the classic announcer jinx there. But I think that's crazy. Good for Delano because
seriously,
Coach Rack is one of the best hitters in the league. He leads the league in home runs right now. Yeah, to be 1 for 11 against him, Delano really has his number still. I guess it's 2 of 12 now, but still.
It's pretty impressive.
Yeah. Another one here is Jake Skoll had his 200th career hit this weekend, and it was in his hometown.
So cool to see, and it's really fun that we're at the beginning of Banana Ball. Like, we're getting these milestones that are very small in comparison to other sports, but they're still really cool milestones. And now these players are going to, in 5 to 10 years, they're going to be at these crazy milestones that they're going to set because they were the first ones to play the game.
Yeah, and then as we keep on going and more players come through, more teams come through, we're going to see some of these get broken, and it's just going to be an awesome thing to watch, that development over time.
Yeah, we can't wait. And then the last one for this week was with walk-offs. So Coach Rack had his 11th walk-off this weekend, and he is leading the league for walk-offs right now. Super cool to see, and again, that just makes what Garrett Delano does against him even more impressive. But shout out to Coach Rack, you're doing a great job this season, and we're actually going to, in a second, we're going to make a prediction about, can someone catch Coach Rack on the home run train?
I'm starting to think, is his name Robert Anthony Cruz or Robert Anthony Clutch?
I think that's what they should call him now.
Yeah, he already has the Coach Rack nickname, but,
Robert Anthony Clutch. I like it.
Yeah, he just gets walk-off after walk-off. It's really impressive. When he gets up there, they got a runner on scoring position. He's gonna win the inning.
Yeah. So let's jump into our predictions. We'll just go really fast over the first part. Last week prediction showdowns. Sammy predicted 1, I predicted 2, and there were 0. So once again, we were slightly off, and Sammy got closer.
It's hard to predict things. I don't think people realize that. Everyone that's in your head, you're making fun of us, saying that we're so bad at this. It's hard. It's really hard.
Yeah, and so with that, we want to invite you to join the prediction this week. So if you're watching on YouTube, comment below what your prediction is to answer this question.
Yeah, so we're not alone when we get it wrong.
Exactly. And if you get it right, then we can celebrate you in the comments.
Yeah, for sure.
So we want to see, will someone dethrone Coach Rack this weekend in home runs? There's going to be 2 games that we're going to see in another Major League ballpark. And right now, Coach Rack is leading with 5 home runs. Jake Skoll and Reese Alexiades both have 4, and there's quite a bit of players with 3. So the question is, you can take it however you want. You can predict if someone's going to tie, you can predict if someone's going to pass, and you can even go and say, I think Jake Skoll will pass. You can pick a player. So go ahead.
Yeah, Reese Alexiades is kind of on a heater right now.
Seriously.
March has been his month, so he's really starting to catch up. But I still got to go with Jake Skoll. I think Jake Skoll hits 2 home runs this weekend. Coach Rack doesn't hit a home run this weekend, and Jake Skoll takes the lead 6-5. Maybe Reese Alexiades gets 1. I mean, I'm predicting way too much here, but let's just say Jake Skoll leapfrogs Coach Rack and takes the lead.
Okay, I'm going to predict that Coach Rack and Reese Alexiades both get 1 home run this weekend, and Jake Skoll gets 0.
Oh, come on.
And then Coach Rack will have 6, Reese 5, and Jake Skoll 4, and then the top 2 slots will be held by Savannah Bananas, is my prediction.
Makes sense why you would predict that. Maybe we should have waited for this until next week when they're back in Savannah, because it's going to be harder to hit a home run in the MLB ballpark.
That's true, which will make it even cooler if it happens.
Yeah, exactly. These guys can do it.
And then this next weekend, we're going to see the games at Busch Stadium, which is the home of the St. Louis Cardinals. They'll have 2 games, one on Friday and one on Saturday this weekend.
Yeah, we're getting to a really exciting part of the season where we're starting to, be in these MLB stadiums. It was such an exciting weekend this past weekend, 41,000 fans, and it's going to be so awesome to be in the Cardinals Stadium this weekend too. So if you're in the St. Louis area, let us know.
Yeah, so thank you so much for joining into this podcast. If you want to see some of the top plays of this weekend, definitely want to subscribe, because we're going to be posting that video to show you some of those top plays and give our breakdowns of those plays. But anyways, hope you have a great week, and we'll see you in the live stream at this next game.
Go Party Animals.
Will they go? Will they actually win the games this weekend? We'll see.
They will.